in our business, a lot of people come into our DMs, they make inquiries, but sometimes they end up not hiring us. So it is that point of the year. We are actually at the end of a business year. So it's that point of the year where you think about, why did I not land the number of clients I wanted? Or look at it from this angle. All the people that sent you DMs and ended up ghosting you, if you put the amount you would have made if you have landed those clients, how much impact would that revenue would have done on your business? I'll go through the 5 things that you should consider when you are trying to reply a DM, you're trying to reply an email, so that someone would send you a message and not ghost you. It's a 5-part framework, right? And when you think about framework, you think about something that is like a guideline that you follow each time to do something that will help you have a consistent result, right? So framework is a way of doing things. You have like a set of guidelines. I do this, I do this, I do this. That will help in consistency. So you don't respond to the first person differently and respond to the second person differently and respond to the third person that sends you a DM differently. There is a framework, there are a set of guidelines that you use in responding to all of these people once they come in contact with you or want to send you a message, right? Once you have a framework, every single time that you reply a DM, every single time that you reply an email, every single time that you have a call with somebody, or every single time that you make a video to try to attract clients, you would follow the 5 steps framework. You can call it the Mo framework, the Mo 5-step framework to acquiring clients and not get ghosted. I'll run down the 5 frameworks. Then once I finish running them down, I will now explain one after the other. And if I have time, I'll get to give you like a real life example of how this works. The first framework is the core message. The second framework is the key message. The third framework is social proof. The fourth framework is the tone of voice. And the fifth framework is call to action. With those 5 frameworks, you are able to articulate what you do. You're able to articulate how what you do would help the person that you're trying to attract. So that you do not just answer DMs like you're not a serious person. You need to answer DMs like someone that is serious and you're in business. And every time you send a DM, and every time you respond to an email, and every time you have a conversation with a person, whether it's online, you're making a video about what you do, or you're meeting the person offline, like in real life, and you're having a conversation, the person said, "Oh, I really love what you do. How can we get to work together?" You will respond to the person using this 5-step framework. It works every time. I've had results for myself. I've had results for my mentees when in my mentoring program. I've had results for people in the clarity sessions that we have done work with. So the core message. When we talk about core message, when it comes to having this conversation, core message simply means having a clear idea of what your brand is and what you people do. You should be able to, in simple sentences, communicate clearly what your brand stands for. You have to be able to communicate clearly what your brand is for. You have to be able to communicate clearly what your brand does. So you need, in the core messages, you need to be very clear on what your brand is and what you guys do in the brand. So for example, you are a headshot photographer. What kind of headshot photographer are you? Are you the one that is dealing with corporate clients? Are you the one that is dealing with entrepreneurs? Are you the one that is dealing with tech bros? Are you the one that is dealing with normal, everyday people, lawyers? You can actually brand yourself as a headshot photographer for lawyers. You can brand yourself and start a business around headshot photographers for people in healthcare. You can be a headshot photographer for people in banking. So you need to be very clear what your brand is, right? And what you people do. we create headshots for so and so people. That's me using the headshot photography business, right? It could be events. It could be that you are a product photographer and you said, I photograph cakes or food products for chefs, or I photograph drinks for agencies, or you need to be very clear what your brand is and what you people do. That is where the core message is. Because most people are not able to articulate what their core message is. They are not able to clearly say to the client, this is what we are, or this is who we are, and this is what we do. So the core message is about this is who we are, and this is what we do. The second framework is the key message. You need to now listen to the key message so that you know that there's a difference between the core message and the key message. The core message is about you. The key message is about the client. You need to be able to communicate in the perspective of the customer and thinking about what they are asking you for and how what you do can benefit them. The key message is about the client perspective now. The key message is when someone sends you a message and say, I want us to work together. You need to take out time and like, what do you do? Who are you? And then if it's like a face-to-face, you can ask those questions. But if it's like a DM, you then go to their profile and see them in their profile and see what they do. Then you can now ask yourself, this is who they are. This is what they do. How can I use what I do to help them because of who they are and because of what they do? Let's go back to the headshot that we started with. If you're a headshot photographer, so when your key message is that you help business owners, or you help doctors, or you help lawyers, or you help tech entrepreneurs, or you help creative people create images that sells them as a brand. That is what you do for them, because for them, wanting a headshot, they want to stand out. So you're giving them what they want by telling them, by the time you book me for a headshot, I'm going to represent you and sell you as a brand, not as an individual, because it is not a photograph. It's a headshot. You could go across different industries. Like when I said with the nonprofits like myself, I said, I help them raise funds because I know specifically for nonprofits, what they want is to create awareness for the things that they are working on so that more people get to know what they are working on per time. The second thing is they want to raise money so that they can do more of the things that they are doing. So I'll tell them, I'll create awareness with the photographs. My photographs will help you raise money. And the third part is that I'll tell stories that would help the people who have donated money to you before continue to donate money. Because nonprofit don't want people that just donate money once. They want people that support and believe in their mission. So my goal as a storyteller is to create images and content that will help them solidify that their purpose. That is me now explaining what I would do, considering who they are and what they do. That's where your key messages is. The third part is the social proof. I cannot say enough about social proof. People would buy from you because they have seen the successes that you've recorded with other people. So there is no reason why you're photographing, when you're photographing clients in the studio or wherever it is, and they say, oh my God, that photograph is dope. My question is always, why are you the only one hearing what they are saying and seeing their reaction? Because if they are so excited by what you do, if they so much love what you do and they are telling you, oh, Mo, this photograph is so good. Guy, this photograph is so dope. Why are you the only one hearing it? It should be recorded. It should be shared, because the more testimonial you share, the more social proof you build, the more trust you would have. These people might not know you, but by the time someone else, also like them, says that you are good enough to work with, it was a great experience photographing with you. It was an amazing time spending in the studio with you. you understood the project, and you delivered on time. Once you have varieties of people giving you those testimonials and you're able to share it, you are thereby using their testimonial as a trust building cement. So by the time you tell the people what you do, tell them how what you do would help them achieve what they want. And the third part is you showing them an example of someone you've done it for and what the person said. It is easier for them to make up their minds. You can't make progress. You cannot turn total strangers into people that will believe and hire you if you're not sharing testimonials of other people that you've done successful work for. So that is the role of your social proof. Oh, you say you want to do this, right? I remember that I did this for someone like you, and these are the results. This is the person. You can go clarify. There's a word in Nigeria that we use: go and verify. You can go verify that I was the one that did that for them, and they achieved this kind of result. And how you do social proof can be different, right? That's what I teach normally in my one-on-one coaching program and all of that. I'll teach you various types of content you can create around building social proof. But you need to understand that social proof is a framework embedded in the successful turning of people who send you DM into people that will pay you and not actually get to ghost you. The fourth framework is the tone of voice. You need to understand that for every brand, you should sound like something. So you should be able to identify who you are saving so that way you'll be able to sound and communicate. Your tone of voice should match the people you're saving. You can't be saving corporate clients, big CEOs, and you're sounding like, how far now? How you doing now? You cannot communicate like someone in the motor park and expect someone in a high-rise building to take you seriously. People always think that, no, it doesn't matter how I talk. It does matter how you talk. It does matter your tone of communication. And you need to understand that your tone of voice cuts across your talk, how you write, and how you communicate, whether it's verbal or non-verbal. Your tone of voice cuts across verbal and non-verbal communication. And for you to be able to nail it, you need to, first of all, understand who are the people that are my ideal clients. What is the tone of voice that suits them? So that if I communicate in that friendly but formal tone, it's something that they understand. Or if I communicate in some way that is very corporate, it's something that they understand. Or if I'm very playful, it's also something that they understand. You should not mix up your voice, the tone of voice. I'll say it again. Never mix up your tone of voice, because you might do the first point of the framework well. The key message is good. Your core message is good. Your testimonial with the social proof is good. But when you miss it in your tone of voice, they will not reply your DM again, because you do not fit into what they think is their class. So you need to be very clear of who you're serving so that your tone of voice, whether you're writing or you're speaking, would communicate to them clearly. Like I always say, you can't be behaving like a tout, communicating like a tout, writing like one, and then say that you should be landing high-end clients. High-end clients are full of etiquette. They say things a certain way. There are some words that they will never use. So if you're trying to play in that field, you should know the acceptable words. You should know the nuances of that particular category. If you do not, I can tell you for free, you're not going to make money. You're going to suffer, and they will always ghost you. That's number 4. Number 5 is call to action. Most people just know the call to action. That's why they ghost you. So you skip the first framework, you skip the second, you skip the third, you skip the fourth, you go straight to the fifth one. Why would people not ghost you? I send you a DM and make an inquiry, and the first thing is for you to do call to action. This is my rate card. Hire me. Immediately, the first thing that you send to somebody after the person sends you a DM is call to action. They don't know what to do with you, right? They have no idea what to do with you. So don't skip step 1, don't skip step 2, don't skip step 3, don't skip step 4 and go to 5. Most photographers, that's what they do. That's why people always ghost you. If you look at your DMs and the people that ghosted you, you realize that more often than not, the first thing that you always did was do the call to action. This is how to hire me. People only hire you after you've been able to communicate the first 4 steps clearly in ways that they could understand. That's why I'm very particular about the arrangement of what I said. I talked about the core message, which is who you are and what you do. I talked about the key message, which is who the clients are and what they do, and thinking about how what you do would help them achieve their goal and how it would benefit them, right? Then the social proof. This thing I'm telling you, I have done it before. This is what I have done. This is what the results were. This is what this person had to say after I had delivered. Number 4, which is now your tone of voice. How do you say those things? Because how you say those things will determine whether they would reply your DM again or come back to your DM or not. And the 5th one is the call to action. Don't be afraid after you've mentioned all of those things to talk about how people can easily hire you. If it's about sending them the red card, it's about telling them they should jump on a call with you. Depending on the kind of business that you're playing, if you are selling a high-end photography, you cannot be sending red cards. This is what people don't understand. You can't be selling a 2 million naira wedding package, a 5 million naira wedding package by sending someone your red card. No, it is not done. You need to book them on a call and sell them all of the 4 things first and then offer them the price. If you do these 5 frameworks I've just stated now, you realize that your success rate at converting people that send you a DM and making inquiries about what you do would go significantly higher, which means that you earn more money. People will not be sending you DM and ghosting you. And like if someone said, yeah, in December alone, they've had 5 inquiries and all 5 ghosted their person. If you use these 5 frameworks I've taught you today, you realize that you'll be able to land more clients via DMs, via emails, or whatever, whether it's a face-to-face conversation you're having, you'll be at a higher success rate. And that's how you make money for your business. I hope that helps.